You are welcome to Command Prompt Tutorials on Learn Programming Skills, and in today's video we are going to look at a group of special keys on our personal computer keyboard that can equip us to perform some actions or some advanced tasks when we get access to the command prompt software. So let's get right into this special video and look at these special keys. On our personal computer keyboard, we have some groups of keys, and there is a particular key which is the first row on the computer keyboard, known as the functional keys or the function keys. These keys consist of the F1, F2, F3, F4, and on the normal or traditional keyboard, we have the F1 to the F12, meaning we have 12 individual keys on this functional keys. I'm going to walk you through these individual keys and how you can use them to complete some tasks within the command prompt software anytime you are working with it. So now let's nail it. The first key on the functional key is F1. This particular key allows you to repeat a single character at a time. That is when you have some computation done within command prompt software and you want to repeat these characters for some modifications or editing. This key can help you to do so. When you look at this command prompt window, I have this path, and currently the desktop is my location. And as usual, always in every tutorials I prepare, desktop becomes my location just for us to have a better view or elevation on whatever task we are performing. So you can switch to any location of your choice, but I am using the desktop for this perfect illustration. Now this is selected. I am going to input a simple command, that is to create 4 folders on the desktop. So give me some time to create these folders. Now I have perfectly created these folders using this command, and these folders are displayed on the desktop background. Let's see how this F1 can repeat these characters. Since this command is recognized in this buffer of command prompt window, when I press the F1, you can see that the M has repeated, and you can see the effect here. And when I press the F1 again, anytime you press the F1, this is going to repeat all the commands that you've typed character by character to the end of the command. So you can see that I have used the F1 key to repeat the command that I use in the first line of path to create the folders, and in my second line of path I have used the F1 key to repeat this command by revealing the characters individually. So that is the function of the F1 key on the computer keyboard. Now let's erase this by using Ctrl and the backspace on the keyboard. The second key on the group of the functional keys is F2. This particular key allows you to enter a character to repeat a word. Now, if I press the F2 on the keyboard, I get this pop-up window or this filled window that says enter character to copy up to. When you look at my command line path, I have this MD Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Let's assume I want to repeat these first 3 words, which is MD, Monday, and Tuesday. Since Wednesday, the initial letter is starting with capital W, I'm going to hold the shift key and the W on the keyboard, and therefore this is going to repeat the MD, Monday, and Tuesday. You should be very careful because these commands are very sensitive. Whenever you are typing a command or you want to repeat a character or a word, you should note when to type the lowercase and also when to type the uppercase. So since I want to repeat the first 3 words, I use the shift key and the W key on the keyboard, that is to type the letter W so that I can repeat the word up to. The words that come before the letter W is going to be repeated whilst that letter is typed. Let's try another example. Ctrl backspace to erase. When I press the F2, I can hold shift key and the letter T. You can see that I have MD Monday repeated. Why? Because this particular line of path has 2 words that starts with the letter T, which is Tuesday and also Thursday. Therefore, the buffer of this command is going to recognize the first starting word, which is Tuesday, and that has repeated the words before Tuesday. So this functional key, which is F2, allows you to repeat a word by typing a character. Let's try another example. Holding F2, you get this field. Then I'm going to type the letter E. Now when I type the letter E, this has repeated MD Monday and 2. So it has ignored this afterwards, and then it has repeated this particular characters. Why? Because this is the first E in this line of path. So anytime you are working within the command prompt interface and you have some commands already typed within your line of path and you want to repeat them for a particular task or performance, you can use this functional key, which is F2, to repeat your characters. So now this jump us to the third functional key, which is F3. This particular key allows us to repeat the last viewed command. So let's assume that you have multiple commands typed in the buffer of command prompt and you want to repeat the last viewed command. You can use this functional key to do so. So when I press the F3, this has repeated the command that we typed, and currently we have only one command line typed in this interface. Therefore, it's going to repeat that particular command. If I key in another command, that is also going to repeat that particular last viewed command. Let's try this example. I'm going to erase this and type the cd ... command to access my previous directory. And I want to get back to the desktop. CD desktop, and now I have access to this desktop. If I press this F3, this is going to allow me to identify the last viewed command in the buffer of the command prompt window. When you press F3 again, that do not work because the function of this particular key is to reveal the last viewed command or the last typed command in the buffer of the command prompt window. As usual, please, I'll urge you to watch this video to the end because there are some special two keys which will be very useful and very important in your daily activities in the command prompt window. Now we are moving to our fourth key in the functional keys, that is F4. This particular command allows us to delete a character up to, that is, if you have your cursor position within a range of a command line or a line of path and you want to delete a certain character, you just key in a character that needs to be deleted before or after. So this particular F4 allows us to do that. Therefore, I'm going to reveal commands in this particular line of path by using the up arrow key. Now I have access to this line of path. I'm going to position my cursor in this section. Now I have my cursor at the Wednesday directory. If I press the F4 on the keyboard, I have this same field which tells you to enter character to delete up to. If I hold the shift key and the letter W, this is going to delete all the characters including the letter W, and then we are going to have this remaining characters. So any character before that letter W is going to be maintained or retained, and then any character inclusive to the letter W is going to be deleted from this buffer or interface. So you can see how these particular commands work perfectly. They are very sensitive, so you should know when and where to use them whenever you are working within the command prompt interface. So let's try another example. Now I have positioned my cursor in this section, and when I hold the F4 on the keyboard and I press the letter U, see what happened? This is also a different manipulation. When I press the letter U, it deleted the first character of this directory, which is Tuesday. So it has deleted the capital T. This did not delete the words before, but only the single character before the letter U, because there are spaces between these words. So that did not take effect. So whenever you are trying to use this particular key, know what character to delete or what word to delete. So this is also another manipulation. Wherever you position your cursor, you press a letter, it deletes a character or it deletes a word. So this is the F4 on our computer keyboard. Our next key is the F5 on the keyboard. This F5 displays all previous commands, that is all typed commands in our buffer. So in this particular tutorials, we've typed about 3 line of path or 3 command line, and we want to display all of them. When you press F5, this is going to display these commands. So anytime I press F5, I have my commands repeated to the first command line typed. So this is the first command that we typed, and when it ends to this command and you press the F5 again, that is not going to repeat itself. So the F5 allows you to repeat your commands from the current to the last previous command. If I erase this using the backspace, hold F5, you see that nothing happens. That is when you clear a command, this F5 do not work. But when you have a command typed and you want to repeat them immediately, you can use the F5 on the keyboard. Let's assume that I use the down or the up arrow key to repeat my commands, and I want to switch to the last previous command. I can use the F5 on the keyboard. So when this moves to the first command line, it ends over there. So the function of this F5 is to repeat the previous command, that is the last previous command, which was the first command that was typed in the command prompt window. So this is how to display your previous command using the F5 on the keyboard. Our next key is the F6 key. This particular key allows us to create a notepad file or a file on our desktop background. So I'm going to use a particular command to create a text file, and if you want to learn how to create a text file, I have a link in the description below. You can get access to it and learn how to create a text file using the command prompt software. So I'm going to use the copycon command. Now after typing this copycon command, you press the space bar and type the name of the file and its extension. Then you press the F6 on the keyboard. Now you see that we have this symbol, which is the superscript symbol with the letter Z, meaning we have access to move to the next line and type our information that we want to have in this particular text file. So I'm going to press the enter key, and I'm going to create some list of items. I have this list typed in the command prompt window, and this list I want them to be found in the text file. So when you move to the desktop, I have this text file created, and I can also hold the F6 once again to stop this manipulation or these entries of information. And when I move to the desktop, I have this text file created, and I believe I have all my information in it. And to get this information, we need to open this particular text file. So I'm going to press the enter key on the keyboard within the buffer of the command prompt to have this successfully done. Therefore, I'm going to type the name and extension of this text file. And when I hit the enter key, I have this notepad window open and I have my list available. And this is perfectly done. So the F6 is used to create text file. That is when you want to create a text or a document using the command prompt window. Using the copycon command, you can use the F6, and that will quickly and perfectly help you to do so. So this is how to create a text file with the help of the F6 key. Now our next key within the functional keys is the F7. Now before we get into this command and how it works or operates, let me introduce you to this special website of this special company known as Ronkin's Power Electronics and Circuit Buildup. This company has a lot of services to be provided to you as a client. When you scroll down, we have these options here. They provide creative ideas, high quality service, fast delivery service, and also a 24/7 support service. And when you move down a bit, they have this description, that is, we are Ronkin Power Electronics and Custom Build-Ups. Choose the best handyman in the city. So they are very reliable. If you want to explore in electronic systems or gadgets, I believe this is the best site you have to visit and contact them and have your work done peacefully, or if you want to learn more and have some educational knowledge about electronics, this site or this company is the best I will recommend to you. When you scroll down, they have their featured service. They provide all exclusive and premium service for clients where electronics designs engineering are needed. You can navigate through this site and then click on individual links and read more about this site and get contact with this special company. Some of their works are, as you can see, they have a very good and quality service, and everything is based on pure practical. And as you can see, these are some of the testimonials that has been appreciated by these clients, so you can read through. Now let's move to the beginning of this website. When you click on the about option, they have this description. We know that electrical and electronic engineering can be a challenging field, but don't let that discourage you. Every obstacle you encounter is an opportunity to learn and grow. So this is a description that describe them or describe their company. So you can move down and know some of their mission and vision, and you should take your time and read through. Meet their awesome team that provide good services to you. So I believe that you should walk through this site and then go to the contact tab, and you're going to have this interface. You input your name, your email, your message, and submit to get access to you. And whatever question you have or any contact you want to have with them, you can do so, and they are very responsive. They'll give you a quick response, and you have your electronic system built up. Or if you want to learn with them, you can do so. So I recommend Rockins Power Electronics and Custom Builds. The F7, the function of this F7 is it helps you to display the list of commands in the buffer of the command prompt window. So when I press F7, I have this window open, and this shows me all the information, all the content that I have keyed in working within the command prompt software. So I have this list here. You can use your app and your down arrow key to navigate through these content or these characters that we've typed in the command prompt window. And currently we have 14 characters typed in the buffer of the command prompt window. So the function of this is to allow you to display a list of commands. So let's assume that you want to display all your commands that you've typed. This is the quicker way to do so. Just press the F7 on the keyboard and you have your work done perfectly for you as a CMD user. Now to cancel this window, you can press the escape key on the keyboard. Now what you see in this line of path is this content that we have here is because we had a selection of this content in the display of commands using the F7, and when I press the escape key, this has recognized this command and inputted it in the line of path. So you can erase it by using the backspace, that is the control key and the backspace. Our next key within the functional keys is the F8. This F8 allows you to circle through your commands within the command prompt window. If I press F8, you see that I have this command displayed, and when I press it again, I am circling through these commands, and as you can see, you have non-stop command. This do not work like the F5, where when it gets to the last or the first command that was typed, that is going to pause at that particular section. But for the F8, this allows you to navigate through or circle through your commands, and when you get access to a command that you want to work with it, you can maintain and press the enter key. This is navigating through or circling through these commands. And if I want to get in touch of any of these commands, I'm just going to pause and then press the enter key on the keyboard. Another way of using this functional key F8, you can also type an initial letter of some commands and then use the F8 to circle through these commands. If I type the letter C and hold the F8 on the keyboard, this is going to filter out all the commands that you've typed in the command prompt window and display commands that start with the letter C. So when I press F8, you can see that I have this command, this. So this is circling through all the content that starts with the letter C, and as you can visually see within this buffer, I'm going to erase this. When I type the letter M, and press F8, you can see that I have only these commands displayed. Even continuously I am pressing F8 and nothing shows, because this is the only command that starts with the letter M. If I press the letter T and hold F8, this is going to reveal all content that starts with the letter T. So you can see that I have touch screen and also television. These are the only commands or the only content that is going to be displayed when you have a particular character typed and using the F8 to circle through these commands. So if you want to see all your commands, you can use the F8, and if you want to filter out some commands and view some portion of these commands, you can also use the F8 to do so. So this is a very suitable key. That is why it is part of the most special purpose keys, that is the functional keys. And as usual, functional keys, they help you to perform advanced functions and advanced actions, to execute an action, to complete some tasks. So let's go to the next key, which is the F9. Now the F9 allows you to enter a command that has been displayed by the F7. So if you are able to display your commands using the F7, you can use the F9 to enter some character and get access to that particular command. So if I press F7, I get this window, and if I press F9, you should remember, you should note the number position of all the commands. So I have 0, 1, 2, 3, and every position has its command associated with it. So if I press F9, you can see that I have this field that says enter command number. So if I want to get back to my boss man directory, then I can go with the command number 5, which is cd ... So I'm going to type 5 on the keyboard and then press the enter key. And when I do this, I have that command displayed in this line of path. Therefore, when I hit the enter key, this will jump me to the previous directory. I can go into this list of commands once again. F9. Now I want to access the desktop. I'll press the number 6 and then enter key, and now I have access to the desktop. So this is a very special key, F9, which allows you to enter a command which has been displayed by the F7 key. So we are moving to another key which is very special, and that is called the Alt key and the F7. This allows you to clear your system buffer or the command prompt buffer. And when we say buffer is a section that consists of your individual commands. If I use the up arrow key, you can see that I'm revealing all the commands, and when I use the down arrow key, this also move downwards, up move upwards. So this is revealing all the commands that we have in the command prompt window. When I erase this and hold the Alt key and the F7, now if you use the up arrow key, you see nothing, and when you use the down arrow key, you see nothing. When I also press F7, there's no command displayed. Why? Because this Alt key and the F7 has cleared the buffer. That is, it has cleared all the commands that we have typed, and we can never get access to it again unless we retype our commands. And as said previously, when you press the F7, this displays the list of commands, and I have pressed F7 and nothing happens. I use my up and down arrow key, nothing happens. This means that we've cleared our system. In fact, we've cleared all the buffer commands in the command prompt window. But there is a bonus tip I want to share with you, and this bonus links to this special key known as F11. F11 is a function that allows you to have a maximized or a restored window of command prompt window. If I press F11, this maximizes this window, and if I press F11 once again, this restore this window. So these are the functional keys I have illustrated to you in this particular video, and I hope this is best explained and illustrated. If you have any question, you can drop that in the comments. And also, if this is your first time visiting this channel, I also urge you that come and join this community so that we can learn together by subscribing to this channel. And if there is any video or a new footage to be posted, you'll be notified of your YouTube interface. Thank you for watching this video, and please, we shall meet in our next one.